Hey guys, Moontan here. Just going to go over how I set up my add-ons for a PvP focus with running minimal add-ons, but probably the most helpful ones. First off, let's look at the complete list of add-ons. But before I get fully into which each add-on is actually doing for me, I'm going to go ahead and just look at the regular settings and what you can do with the UI that's already presented to you from ESO. So some of the most important ones are here under combat. You're going to want to have your ultimate percent number on. Ability bar always show, attribute bars always show, resource numbers, number and percent, and then combat text, really all you need is the main outgoing damage, outgoing crowd control, all of that good stuff. Incoming, you want to see all of the incoming damage and good stuff like that. And then for buffs and debuffs, you want to show always show. You don't really need to show self buffs because we have an add-on called action duration reminder that's going to show that. You want self debuffs because you need to be able to tell what's actually getting applied to you that's negative, and then target debuffs, which will put a nice little debuff above there, or right underneath their health bar. You don't really need to show long effects or permanent effects because if they have a long duration or a permanent duration, you can assume they're always on, like something like food, and we have a food add-on that will cover that anyways. Now in nameplates, it's always pretty much a good idea. I don't like to show mine because I don't want to have the text right in the middle of my screen. But to show guild equipped tabard, that is great. And always show members and other group members. And of course, friendly players, enemy players, always. Enemy NPCs, I only show them if they're injured because you don't really need to be seeing them all the time. So now, health bars, you want to have your health bars on, alignment center, and you can look at the rest of these. Alliance indicators, you can do that. I don't really necessarily do that too much, but just feel free to copy my settings exactly if you like them. Now interface, we'll just go through these just in case you are curious what I have all these on. So you get the frame rate and latency performance by turning this on. So, and you can drag that around, which makes it easy to use. Camera, look at all of this. Gameplay, I don't really do anything crazy with these. I have these on, which I'm pretty sure it's fine. There you go, just feel free to copy all of that. Since I listen to music, I have the music off, and these are just my regular settings. So let's actually talk about which add-ons I'm using and for what purpose. Now there's a couple of them that we don't really need to go and cover, but there's only one I'm really using for quality of life, and that is Multicraft. Now Multicraft is just a good add-on to have for any crafting and stuff you need to do. So if you're making potions, if you're making any food, this just allows you to make multiple items without having to keep spamming R, clicking it over and over again. I was there before too, and if you're surprised that this exists, definitely got to download this one. So now the most important ones here are all pretty much tailored so I can go out and PvP in Cyrodiil with no problem. Dark UI, pretty simple add-on. That just changes the color of all of your action bars and these abilities to make it so it's not just the default look, which I would think is pretty boring. This right here, Compass Be Gone, just removes the border around the compass, which I think makes it look a little cleaner. And then you have Action Duration Reminder. This is going to be probably one of the most important ones, easily. So when you buff up, this is my back bar, which I usually keep as a buff bar. You can see that I can see all of those buffs are still actively running. And that's how I control knowing which positive buff that I have up and why I don't need to have the in-game buffs telling me what's going on, which just helps you have less clutter on the screen so you can pay attention to actually what's going on. Now, the next add-on that we'll talk about is Miat's cast icon. So this add-on right here, you can see that bubble or the heavy attack animation that's going off. It shows you any channeled ability or heavy attacks and light attacks. So that would be like a light attack. You could do a medium attack. Really helpful for just making sure you're weaving correctly, or even in any circumstance, actually performing a full heavy attack before you animation cancel with another ability, for example. I guess I do have one more quality of life, and that's just map pins. So on my map, it just shows like sky shards and stuff. And this one actually runs with barely any resources, so it's easy to keep on. And just to show you, to configure this one, you go into filters and you can take off these things. And yeah, that's basically it. You just click all of these and get that going like that. And that's how you configure map pins, pretty easy. So the next one we'll talk about is Miat CC Tracker. This one is really great. I'm gonna run onto this resource over here just to show you guys. This is really helpful for PvP and PvE. So eventually these guys are gonna CC me. Okay, do you see that little thing where it says disoriented? They're gonna eventually CC me. So all the times I'm getting any kind of damage, there is a power bash, not actually CCing me for whatever reason, but I am getting CC'd and you can see all those negative effects coming up. I'm just gonna run up here, kind of hide from these guys real quick. But that's what that add-on's doing for me, is just showing me when I'm being CC'd, which is pretty helpful. Let's see if these NPCs follow me. There. And then the next one is gonna be Miat Stealth Text. So when I use a cloak, see how it pops up and says I'm invisible? Detected, that means someone obviously can see me. When I use cloak again, I'll go back to invisible. When I'm in crouch, it'll say I'm going into hiding and then I'm hidden, so hidden means I'm crouched. Now the really cool thing with this add-on, and which makes it really helpful for Nightblades, is if you get close enough to something that can see you, to see how the invisible turn to yellow, it works better when there's players around you. But that invisible thing will turn to yellow, and that kind of signifies that there is a player around you while you're actually in stealth, which is really helpful. Now you saw that stun right there, that's from the CC tracker. And pretty easy from there. So I'm gonna jump off here real quick. And do you see now that my health just dropped, I have a little reminder right here, your food or drink buff has expired. So usually it pops up you have about like 5 minutes to eat your food, but that add-on actually comes from, sorry, wrong thing. But that's gonna come from Scootworks HUD. Now Scootworks HUD shows you when you need to eat, which is super helpful so you don't ever drop your food in combat. And also it shows, or it actually does this for you, but it will automatically charge your weapons once they drop below like a 10% threshold or something like that. So you never have to remember to charge your weapons. And that means if you're in a combat, you're not gonna drop that weapon charge, which is gonna put you in jeopardy of losing an important weapon damage enchant, for example. Now, another kind of quality of life one, if I can not be in combat, which is freaking impossible most of the time. Let's see if I can get out of combat here. Alright, well, if you get attacked by guards, you usually get stuck in combat, so I'm just gonna go dive these guards really quick. Go dive them. Thank you for keeping me in combat. Split up. And you can kind of see all my buffs and everything and debuffs getting taken off anyways right here. Alright. So choose revive location. Okay, we'll go over here. Okay, so now the next thing I want to show you, which is another kind of quality of life one. When I mount, you see how rapids just got put on my bar? So that's going to be the add-on Fast Ride. Fast Ride is super cool because if you go to settings add-on, I just have it set to my skill number 5, so it puts it where my G key is or where your 5 ability be. And then when I use my rapids, it gives me my rapids boost, and then 2 seconds before the rapids dies or it goes away, it re-puts the ability on there, and then I can fast ride again or just use my rapids. Just a more streamlined way instead of pulling and putting rapids on your bar the entire time, which is really nice. Now let's just go over some of my add-on settings. So the Scootworks Combat one too, that is an important add-on because it kind of it lets you see people's CP, the max level CP, and also it lets me do this, which if I was gaining AP, it would show me how much AP per hour, and it's also doing this kill tracker up there. And there's a few other things it does as well. I would definitely recommend it because you can see all the different abilities that you can have, and it also puts these on your compass, so like your group leader and stuff will be in the compass up on the top there. Just makes it easier to track where everybody is. But let's just go through all these real quick so you can see how I have everything set up. Scootworks HUD, this one's pretty easy. I don't My mount doesn't need to be fed, so I turn that one off. It's automatically recharging weapons, food indicators on. Miat stealth text, pretty easy. You can change the scalings here. CC tracker, you can turn this off and on to move where it actually is. Miat's cast icon, same thing. Fast ride, pretty simple. Dark UI, I don't really change much about Dark UI. Pretty much just install. Action duration reminder, I also don't really change anything. So pretty much all of these add-ons that I'm using are simple and effective ways to make sure that you're maintaining all of your food buffs, that your weapons are being recharged, and that you see the pertinent information that you need in a PvP fight. You get a couple things from map hymns, and it's a low weight add-on, so it's not causing you too much stress. Multi-craft, that helps you out with crafting, definitely recommend it. Action duration reminder, again, that's going to be those cool buff bars that I use. Compass Be Gone just makes everything look a little cleaner. Dark UI kind of blanket changes everything. And you can go ahead and just install all of these and get this actually running in about 5 minutes or so, so it doesn't really take any much work. You do have to remember, so if you check out the Scootworks HUD on ESO UI, it'll show you a bunch of dependencies that you need to have. You need to make sure you have these library dependencies, which is kind of like a separate add-on you have to download for the Scootworks one, so PvP Journal, Scootworks Combat, and Scootworks HUD. But I recommend it because these ones are really great, and they just have some great functionality and polish for a PvP add-on. So now I'm going to eat this food, and you're going to see that food thing at the bottom goes away. And it's pretty much as simple as that. And now we're going to try to at least get one kill here. And these are my favorite add-ons for PvP, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and good luck out there. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask in my Discord or come to my stream at twitch.tv/Moontan. I had a lot of requests for getting my videos put together, so hope you guys have a nice day, and I'll see you in Cyrodiil. And remember, never stop moving, and you'll never be zerged.